We have seen that our identity as children of God is the heart of Christianity and the heart of who we are. Then we looked at how as parents we can reach our child's heart, not just correcting their behaviour. This time we're asking, what does it mean to have gospel-shaped conversations about gender, sexuality and identity? At Faith in Kids we started looking at identity because we kept hearing that churches wanted help in speaking to their children and young people about gender and sexuality. We want them to see that these primarily are identity issues, with answers to a much more basic question: who are we? These are the identity issues that our culture is shouting loudest about. If this Christian understanding of identity can help with these hot topics, then we'll be more confident to talk about the other issues that come along. But when we start with this truth, we are children of God, we are not afraid. We can open our doors and our hearts. We can welcome the confused, the hurting and the questioning, because we've been welcomed in when we were lost. So when it comes to gender and sexuality, we don't need to panic. Whatever is being asked, whatever your feelings, invite Jesus into the conversation. These topics can come into our homes. We can welcome them. So let's start by talking about gender and our bodies. There are two headlines in Genesis 1:27. We read there, "So God created mankind in his own image. In the image of God he created them, male and female he created them." The first headline, we are created in God's image. The first mention of identity in the Bible. This is who we are, made in God's image. What would be your second headline of humanity? Opposable thumbs? Fire? Flushable toilets? Poetry? No, the second headline is male and female. This defines us. As humans, this is who we are. We are male or female. The headline is simple and clear. Our children can understand this. There are some things that are more complicated, but let's walk through 5 clear details to understand so we can talk to our children. First, talk about everything. Say the words. Christians don't need to talk in euphemisms. If our kids hear us say penis and vagina like we say elbow and ankle, then they know it's not awkward, it's not shameful. They'll know their parent wants to talk about this just like anything else. It's another everyday conversation to have one day after the next. It's not one big frightening birds and the bees conversation. We want them to know you can talk to me about this anytime. Second, every cell in your body has your gender. I got to check this with a doctor on our podcast and she said, yes, every cell in your body is male or female. Medically, a man cannot become a woman and a woman cannot become a man. There is a small number of people for whom biological sex is unclear at birth. That's real and it's difficult. But for almost all children, we can simply say you are a boy or you are a girl, and that is a gift from God to them. Third, the Bible gives beautiful freedom to boys and girls. Let's be careful of gender stereotypes. There is no single way to be a godly man or a godly woman. There is a woman in the Bible who is commended for driving a tent peg through a man's skull, and David danced in public in his underwear. The Bible does not say girls must wear floral dresses or boys must love rough sports. Godly girls can climb trees and godly boys can do ballet. The instruction is, be godly. Fourth, understand the truth about gender identity. There are 2 data clusters where gender confusion most often appears. First, in prepubescent boys, say 5 or 6-year-olds, who are trying on mum's heels, her dresses and playing with her lipstick. It's not unusual, it's just them playing. The second data cluster is in post-pubescent girls, young women. The research says these girls are mostly unhappy. They may be autistic, they may struggle with friendships, they're online a lot, they feel isolated, and into that sadness the internet says, change your sex and you'll be happy. That's a lie. But as Christians, we are experts at helping people who are unhappy, at caring for them, at listening to them, and being there for the long haul. Fifth, ask questions even when you don't know the answers. Asking a question opens the door. It says, I want to know more and I want to know what you think. And it helps us understand what we're hearing and why they're asking. We don't shut conversations down, however frightened or clueless you feel when they ask their question. Isn't it great they've come to you? You want them to be coming to you for the answers, not some kid in the corner of a playground. And as we've heard, our children need to hear us say, I don't know. That's gender and bodies. That went well. Let's talk about friendship and sexuality. Genesis 2:18 says, it's not good for the man to be alone. This was before the fall. Before sin entered the world, there was one thing that was not good: being alone. We are made for community, for intimacy, for friendships. That's why church matters so much. It's good for lonely people to find their friends and their love in church. So let's say it. Friendship is essential, marriage and sex are not. Not everyone will marry. That's okay. Jesus was never married. He never had sex. He also had great friends who he trusted, and he lived a perfect, flourishing life. Everyone needs friends. We can model that. We can invite others into our homes, and we can look someone in the eye and say, I need you in my child's life. I've done that with some friends, and it's made all the difference to my children's lives. Let's also say this. Early labeling of sexuality isn't needed, and it's not helpful. We don't need to ask a 10-year-old who they fancy. If they ask us questions, we can answer. If they say something confusing, we explore it gently. One same-sex attracted friend of mine was told as a teenager, your sexuality might change as you get older. And that helped him, because that told him this isn't the sum total of his identity. It might change. This isn't the only answer to who are you. A young woman in my church was told by her friends in school she had to come out as a heterosexual. She explained that they know the sexuality of everyone else and they think she's a heterosexual, so it's time she told everyone. I asked her what she was going to do. She said, they don't need to know. I don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend. It's my business. What a wise young woman she is. So we can ask our children, who are you listening to for answers to hard questions? Are you listening to your friends, to TikTok, to our culture, or to the God who made you, who knows you, and who loves you? If I'm honest, in my family, when it comes to these issues, I would have written the Bible differently. But that's not how it works. I don't get to write the Bible. We don't follow God because it's convenient or he says what we already think. We follow him because what he says is true and it's good. He is God. And finally, we are raising kids to search for compassion and integrity. Yes, it's scary. Yes, these are hard conversations, but we don't raise our children to avoid hard things. We raise them to speak the truth in love. So after all you've heard, what is the next conversation you would love to have with your child? How could you make it easier? Would it be a dog walk, a milkshake, a long drive, a quiet moment before bed? Jesus speaks into the hardest places. Our homes are the safest places for this to begin. And you, the parent, are the best person in the world to be doing this for your child. Well done. God bless you in it.